Man, that trips me out.
Why?
Because it's like so open. I'm like, I know that nothing's gonna just like come over and push me over the edge randomly.
Yeah.
But I feel like. Ugh. Ren, if you run into cactus, we gotta turn around. So don't do that. Oh, it is a little baby. Ren's like, I'm a baby, what are you talking about? Oh, a little hop. That one? Scorpions. No, we don't get out of here.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Because now I have to move.
No, they're apparently not venomous enough to do anything.
Enough.
Yeah, but if you go like at the nature center, if you have a black light at night and you shine it up the hill, like the east hill, you can see them in the black light.
No. What's that yellow? Oh, cactus plant. Yeah. Protected by law. Okay, I want to talk about a couple quick things here. I won't be that quick, but I'm also having to be pressured for time for a couple of reasons that I'm going to explain to you. So, first thing, I need to talk about this because I need to put this in the GoPro or else I'm not going to be able to use it very long. So, I mentioned in the last vlog that what I think happened with my GoPro is that it overheated. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The battery's just kind of fried, and it thinks that it's going to die, and it like half shuts off and whatever, even if it's only been on for 15-20 minutes, and normally I could get an hour and 15 minutes out of it fully charged. Anyway, this is a third-party battery pack. The USB-C port this goes in the port that is in the charging door for the Hero 5 session that I have. But this is a third-party thing. GoPro doesn't make it. It is something that someone else made because they wanted to have longer videos. So you can use this to just charge the GoPro on the go as like just it's like what do you call it? Like battery, like a power bank, I guess. Or you could have it hooked in to the GoPro and record, and it's feeding off this battery instead of the GoPro battery. I'm going to turn the GoPro off and put this in so that I can talk the rest of the time without feeling like I'm going to turn this off and it's all going to be garbage and not usable because it's shut off instead of repairing file and all that stuff. Okay, so a little more about this battery pack. It is a temporary solution for a couple of reasons. One being that it really limits my ability to record on the fly, time sensitive. Something's happening right now. I need to press record and I need it to record. Because what happens is that it's hooked in, you press it, it turns on, and recognizes it's charging, and it shuts right off. And it does that sometimes 2 or 3 times before it'll start recording. So that's one reason why I didn't get as much footage as I wanted at Dinosaur Provincial Park, where I went with Rebecca, as you can see. Because it was crazy hot out, and I had the battery pack with me and stuff, but if I just like pressed on, like it was just fiddling with it. And then having to like connect them together and squeeze both of them together so they're actually making a good connection. Because if I just let go and it wasn't as tight, because I'm having to hold them like this right now, then it would disconnect and then I'd lose the footage too. So there is a case, like a casing for this that keeps them together. But again, you can't just have them there the whole time. Otherwise, the GoPro will be draining the battery while it's not recording, and then the battery's just draining from my GoPro too on its own for no reason as well. So anyway, it's a temporary solution. I think it will work okay. Well, okay, it's temporary because again, I can't use my GoPro as intended. It was just like I can press one button, it records, and I'm good. Because there have been like things happening in the street that are just like, holy smokes, look at that, and then I want to record it. Or if it was weather or something that was like significant, and then it's gone, and it's just like, or we're driving, whatever. And I've been able to do that in the past, but I can't with the battery pack. It just takes too long fumbling around, connecting it, trying to actually get it to turn on. Once it's on, it seems to stay on for now. The other reason this is temporary is because what I think happened with the GoPro is that it overheated and fried the battery. When I am riding bikes, I have ridden in hot weather before. So this is also why I said last time, I think that it's a combination of wear and tear and time and the overheating. It was over 30 degrees out. And the problem was that I wasn't riding my bike at that point when things started screwing up. I had gone for a trail ride. I went down this trail I'd never been on before, and it got a little too spicy for me, so I got off, I walked my bike down, and then I was like, you know what, I think I can finish this off. There's this descent here, there's like a little drop or like a little roll, and I think I can do that, but I had a hard time positioning myself on the trail. So I turned my GoPro off, I tried to position myself, then I turned it back on to save, so I was saving battery and also so I didn't have to edit as much garbage out. But I did that like 10 times over the course of a half an hour. I just like shut it off, recorded for a minute or two. This isn't working. Like I can't seem to get in the right position to go down this. And then I would get off and like figure something out for a couple minutes, find a new position, try to hop on my bike, turn the camera on. Yeah, that didn't work, and do it again and again and again. So the other thing that I realized today is that with the overheating, if I'm riding my bike, it's getting wind. It's cooling down a little bit. But when I'm just standing there in the hot sun like that for a long period of time and going on, off, that's why I think it overheated. Whereas other times, if I was actually riding it, like even earlier, the little bit before that happened, I was riding my bike, that didn't happen. Anyway, I don't know if it will overheat with the battery pack to the point where it'll just be completely done. I have a feeling it will. Because even though I'm inside and I've got a fan on, and it's not that hot in here, it is so hot to the touch. My GoPro, after recording for like 10 minutes, using the battery pack, is incredibly hot to the touch. It's not supposed to overheat like that. So I expect that it will do further damage the longer I keep using it, and that's just the reality. So in saying that, now I want to talk about about a more permanent solution for now. It's also a temporary solution, but a good one that fell into my lap. And also just like how I closed off that last vlog, I was really frustrated. So I was frustrated not because people had never donated to that buy me a coffee thing. I'll talk about that. I was frustrated because I just explained a bunch of stuff going wrong with the GoPro and what's been happening. And in the outro, and just explaining, hey, I do have that buy me a coffee thing, whatever. I explained that for a minute. And like I was doing the outro, and then it didn't work. It didn't keep the recording. And I was like, what in the world? Like, it should be full battery right now. Why? Because I pressed off, and that's when it said repairing file, and then it didn't actually save it. So I was frustrated at that, but I needed an outro before I just put it on my computer and then edited the vlog. And I was in a hurry to do that because I didn't want to have to do that later on. And whatever, I've got a schedule for when I stop vlogging for the week, and when the vlog has to be out, and when I start filming new footage. And it's like, my weeks basically starts on Friday and ends on Thursday. So all my footage has to be recorded from Friday to Thursday. Thursday I stop recording. Anything I record after Thursday on the new Friday goes for the next week of vlogging. Anyway, so I was really frustrated at that. And I don't know, I just don't like how I did the outro. I have edit power, obviously. I could just re-record it again, but again, I didn't want to do that. I was under time constraints, and things weren't working out, and it was just really frustrating. In saying that, the buy me a coffee thing, part of it is frustrating, which is unfair, but I said this in the outro the first time I did it, and then it didn't record it. But I was basically saying what I said in the last conversation. So if you saw the last conversation, this is going to be repeat, and I'm not going to say all of it, but it's just that it was much calmer in that first outro and in the conversation because I had more faith that the GoPro was working. And I was like, okay, like I kept checking on it, which I'm going to do now. Yep, still recording. I had much more faith in it in a way once I saw that it was working off the battery pack. But now that I know, because I'm holding it, that it's incredibly hot to the touch regardless, I still don't know when it's going to overheat. Whereas beforehand, I had it set up on the tripod, and I was like, okay, I didn't know that it was still like getting crazy hot and overheating or whatever. Anyway, I'm not upset that people can't afford or don't deem it worthy enough a cause or whatever to not donate to that specific app. There's a lot of reasons why people can't or maybe won't, and those are all fine. I have a limited source of income as well. There's only certain things that I want to put my money towards, whatever. It just became this thing where like, I think it's that I didn't handle the rejection of that vulnerability well. I did it quietly first, but then when this issue happened, I brought it up again. What I mean by that is that I've had a lot of people, every year that I've been doing this, more and more and more people talk to me specifically about the raw rides. Specifically about the trail videos that I put up that mostly are local trails that are somewhat instructional and tell you about the trail, and you can see it before you go on a ride. If you've never done that trail before, it can be useful. And I've had a lot of people, again, more and more reach out online and in person. And because people were reaching out and being very thankful and giving gratitude and talking about how much they appreciate it, there was once or twice where people were like, oh man, like I'd like to somehow support that. And then I was trying to think, what is the best option for that? And I toyed with the idea on and off for I don't know how many months. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the buy me a coffee thing because I don't want to have like a Patreon or something like that where it's like, hey, if you donate this tier level, you get this back. Because especially when it comes to biking, I mean, I want those videos accessible to everyone. I don't want them behind a paywall. I don't want any content that I also have to be obligated to make. Because if it's biking related, it's dependent on if my bike is working and functional, if it's out in the shop, if the weather is cooperating, if I have time that week to not just ride, but also edit. And like, so it's weather dependent and time dependent and all of these things. And I was like, I'm just gonna have this thing where you could drop like literally $1 or more and just, that's it. And you're not getting anything specific. It's just like, hey, like here's $5 towards whatever. You can use that for vlogging stuff or for bike maintenance or whatever. And I just thought maybe there would be enough people here and there that it could help out, like with simple things. Like I didn't expect a mountain of money, but even like with regular bike maintenance stuff I have to do, if I just need to go buy a new tube because I got a flat, or just buying new, I mean, things are expensive. Buying new tires is expensive, and just like having things go wrong that I can't fix. Anyway, I had a lot of people ask me. That's why I thought, you know what, maybe there'll be a good response to this. And I had to get over my vulnerability and like pride and whatever else to throw that out there. So I didn't pump it up a lot. I talked about it a couple weeks when I first started doing it, had some links, whatever, and there was no response to it. And eventually, after a while, like 9 months or 10 months or so, I decided, and this was about a month ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, I decided that I'm going to take the buy me a coffee thing off my Instagram bio. I'm going to take it off my link tree. Nobody's donated a single thing to it. That's okay. Whatever. I tried it. It didn't work. That's fine. It's just whatever. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Then, and so I took it off. I didn't say anything about it. I don't recall saying anything about it anyway. I just took it off because it's somewhat embarrassing. That's why. And that's why I talk about like vulnerability and getting over that prideful feeling. And the conversation this week, as you already know, I'm going to actually record after this, but it's about the art of asking. So anyway, it felt weird. I just took it down and that was it. But then when the GoPro thing happened last week and I was like, I can't record anymore. I don't want to stop recording, because there was a while where I thought about like, should I just stop recording? Like it'd be easier for my life. I wouldn't have like, but I get a lot out of it as well. And it's not just for what, it's not some altruistic thing about, look what I do for the people. No, like I get a lot out of it on a personal level with the conversations especially. And I didn't want to stop doing it. And I was like, man, what can I do here? Anyway, that's why I brought up the buy me a coffee thing again. Since then, there's been no activity on it. So I really do think I am going to take it down and I'm just going to close the account. For me, that was the best platform. I would rather just people buy my art or buy paintings or me do a custom thing for you, because that supports me. But it's also someone getting something that they want out of that. And like, yes, people want these videos, but I'm doing them no matter what anyway. Anyway, I'm just saying that like the buy me a coffee thing was there, and it said like, oh, helping me buy art supplies or pay for my studio rent or like for bike videos, for vlogging, for whatever. Like it will help all that. That's kind of just like if someone gave me $50, if I put that towards studio rent, that still means I have $50 more than I didn't have that could also go towards a new tire if I need one. Like it all whatever. It goes towards everything somehow or the other. My thumb is hot from this thing overheating. I'm going to check. Yes, we're still recording. This is going to be like the whole freaking vlog this week. I went for a ride and I didn't take the camera because I was afraid of it overheating. I might try it once this week and see what happens. Anyway, I think I'm going to take it down. I don't want to be bitter about it and I don't want to be weird about it. It was that thing of like, you put yourself out there and it hurt. And like, even now talking about it, it's like, I want to talk about it because of transparency and just like being real, but it also feels like awkward to do it and slightly embarrassing. So anyway, when I had that video out, that conversation, somebody reached out and said, hey, I've got an old GoPro. I haven't used it for years. You can have it, no strings attached, whatever. And I was like, holy smokes. And I was really overwhelmed. And I was just like, thank you so much. They don't live locally, so I don't know exactly when I'll get it. And I was just like, thank you so much. Like in advance, like that's amazingly helpful. Like, yes, I'm interested. That would be fantastic. That is still a temporary solution because it is still an older GoPro. At some point, wear and tear, time, things are going to happen, and I'll need to upgrade my stuff eventually. And I knew that. I knew that I'd have to upgrade things eventually, but it just went from like, it's working completely fine to like, now it's just not working like immediately, and it caught me off guard, and I just don't have the funds. There's a lot of other things going on in life with work or lack thereof and stuff, and subbing / teaching, and not having a position that are stressful and whatever. And it's just one of those things where like, I can go for a ride and without my GoPro and I feel great. And then I want to go for a ride with my GoPro. And if my GoPro starts screwing up, it's like, well, the ride wasn't just about riding. The ride was also about recording the ride. So when something isn't working, it just gets put into this thing, and then I'm like, man, going for a ride is supposed to be like my happy place, and then I get in my head, and then it turns into a whole other thing. So anyway, by the time you see this vlog, I might have that new used GoPro in my hands, and that could last me a while. And either way, it's just a great gesture and beautiful and wonderful of people to do cool things like that, and I'm very appreciative. But like I said, in saying that, I feel like I want to take the buy me a coffee thing down because it isn't getting used, and that's okay. It just doesn't work for me and my, if you want to call it, audience. Yeah, it's fine. It works for some creators really well. That's why I thought I'd try it. And again, that there was no obligation for anybody, including me, and it just seemed like a good platform. So, again, like, I don't want to be weird and bitter about it. It was just like, there was interest, I got vulnerable, and then I got frustrated because of the situation with the GoPro, and then I just was like, hey, like, I guess part of it was like, let me ask for help again, and then seeing that, I mean, just having to do it again and activate it again and stuff just reminded me of, like, all these negative things of, like, I'm not where I want to be career-wise. I don't want to have to ask for help. And then when you put yourself out there and do it, and then you don't get the response, then it's like, oh, damn, like, that's really cringy, like, whatever. And that's why I'm going to go and do this video, and hopefully it records all the way through, of The Art of Asking, which is also a TED Talk by Amanda Palmer, which I'm going to talk about in the conversation, which you might have already seen or heard by this time. That's a whole bunch of talking head stuff. Sorry, not sorry. I needed to talk about it and put it somewhere, so here it is.
Champions, I can't believe it's right. No, it was supposed to be my Pentakill. What did you do to me? I killed down 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe it's right.
Wait a minute!
All right. Oh, I thought I was gonna crash for sure. I thought I was gonna flip over my front end there. All right, let's talk about that real quick. That's all right. So that steep bad boy right there. It's one of those ones where, like, I've done steeper, but they've been so short. But this was like steeper and longer, and you're just gaining more speed, and it's bumpy and loose rocks. The only section I really had to worry about was, like, once I got to the peak, I was like, oh no, this is not good. I guess I just got to go for it, because I could dab right now and go off, but I'm just gonna give it a shot. And, like, yeah. So I just did that right there. Rough trade for the first time. Thought I was gonna wreck on this descent. I was just, like, high, and it was like high up. I mean, like, it just, I don't know, it felt like I was gonna go over the handlebars. It was bumpy, loose rocks, couldn't slow down enough because just how steep it was, and my tire pressure and my brake situation and whatever. Yeah, so that was that. I'm still using my temporary GoPro solution, so I'm afraid of it overheating right now. But I got that video in the bag, so unless something melts and warps the micro SD card, I should be okay. Yeah. I had something I wanted to say, and I don't remember what it is, so that's cool. Quick little outro to the vlog. I don't even know what other videos or what other. I don't even know what other vlog material I have this week. A little bit of riding and then some talking head stuff in the studio, I think. Other videos though, I did have a conversation about the art of asking, and then I did have a review on The Karate Kid, 1984 original movie, which I love. So anyway, I'm meeting this gentleman who decided to donate his GoPro to me tonight. So the next time I have footage, it might be different. I don't know. We'll see. And speaking of seeing, we'll see you at another time.